I used to dream of visiting America. Now, I just want to stay away. That's what a German tourist shared recently, and their story is far from unique. It's almost surreal. Times Square, once the beating heart of New York, is eerily quiet in the middle of the summer rush. At the Golden Gate Bridge, you hear nothing but the wind blowing through its steel beams. Las Vegas's bright neon still glows, but its casinos sit empty. These were once icons, dream destinations for millions around the world. Now, no one wants to go anymore. According to a 2025 report by Oxford Economics, the United States is the only country out of 184 that saw a significant drop in tourism revenue this year. International airlines are slashing routes. Friendly nations are advising their citizens not to travel to the US. Travelers from Europe, Asia, and even Canada are looking elsewhere. So what happened? How did America, home to the world's most famous tourist landmarks, become a country that global travelers are turning away from? In this video, we'll take you through 10 US states where tourism has collapsed in 2025. Once thriving destinations are now ghost towns. And maybe your state is one of them. Number 1. Washington, D.C. Power with no audience. The capital of the free world now feels empty. International tourists to Washington, D.C. are down more than 30%. Nearly $2 billion in losses this year. Diplomatic events, international forums, and summits are canceling or moving elsewhere. Even the cafes near Capitol Hill are closing early. Global diplomatic events are now held in Geneva, Brussels, or Toronto. Cities seen as more stable and safer. If world leaders no longer gather in D.C., can America still lead the world? Number 2. Texas. The border is closed, and so is tourism. Texas, a state long powered by trade and tourism with Mexico, is now feeling the cost of closed borders. Mexican tourists, Texas's largest international visitor group, are down 25%. Flights from Mexico to Dallas and Houston have plummeted, costing the state $1 billion. Duty-free shops in cities like El Paso and McAllen are closing early or shutting down entirely. The once bustling border towns are now shadows of their former selves. Why? A harsh immigration crackdown. Even family members of U.S. citizens are being turned away. If Texas doesn't soften its stance and welcome its southern neighbors back, it risks losing not just revenue, but also trust that took generations to build. Number 3. Day Florida, Sunshine State in the shadows. Disney has cut ticket prices for the first time in years and still can't fill the parks. Florida, once a top global destination, is fading fast. Latin American visitors, especially from Brazil and Argentina, have dropped significantly. Orlando has seen a 15% decline in international travelers, losing nearly $2 billion in 2025 alone. Compared to last year, tourism is down 30%. Just in the first half of the year. A worker at Universal Studios said, "We used to have lines at the gates every morning. Now we wait for silence." Restaurants and hotels are cutting hours or closing entirely. Locals feel the emptiness. Tourists have left, and with them, the jobs and energy that made this state feel alive. Rising travel costs, complicated visa rules, and a sense of unfriendliness are pushing away Florida's closest neighbors. Latin Americans are now choosing destinations like Cancun, Bali, or Dubai over the US, all offering similar fun without the stress. The American beach dream still exists, but it's not in Florida anymore. Number 4. California. Golden dreams fading fast. The Golden Gate Bridge? Empty. Hollywood? Just a ghost of its former glory. California lost more than 20% of its international tourists this past year, around $3 billion in lost revenue. Flights from Europe and Asia are down sharply. Some were even canceled last minute due to low passenger numbers. In Hollywood, souvenir shops and seaside cafes sit locked and quiet. A shuttle driver in Los Angeles shared, "Back then, I didn't have time to catch my breath. Back-to-back airport pickups. Now I sit in my van and just wait." Why? It's not just the high prices or long flights. Tourists are put off by unfriendly immigration processes, strict border policies, and political tension. Even ecotourism, once a strength of California, is struggling. Places like Vancouver and Tulum now offer similar experiences with fewer headaches. California is slowly becoming a memory instead of a destination. Number 5. Nevada. When Vegas went silent. Vegas used to mean neon lights, noise, and non-stop action. Now, empty hotels, closed poker tables, silent slot machines. In 2025, 40% of hotels on the Strip reduced capacity or shut down entirely. Tourism losses have crossed $1.5 billion in just 6 months. Even domestic tourists have stopped coming. An employee at the Bellagio said, "I used to serve VIPs all night. Now I stare at rows of empty chairs." And now, even gamblers have found a new fix. Online casinos in Canada and the UK are booming. Why deal with flights and border checks when you can gamble from your couch? Vegas was once where dreams were made. Now it's just a quiet shell of what once was. Unless Nevada finds a way to rebuild trust and reinvent tourism with safety and openness, the future looks bleak. Number 6. Hawaii. Paradise alone. Once the world's escape into paradise, Hawaii now sits in silence. Tourism from Asia, especially Japan and China, is down over 35% this year. That's nearly $2 billion in lost revenue. High costs, complex rules, and long flights have left Hawaii's resorts and beaches nearly empty. Restaurants that once had hour-long waits now serve a handful of guests. Tourists are opting for Bali and Phuket, cheaper, closer, and easier to enter. Even visitors from Australia and New Zealand are skipping Hawaii. The government hasn't adapted quickly enough to the post-pandemic travel shift, and now the island feels more isolated than ever. Can paradise survive if it's no longer welcoming? Or is Hawaii becoming a lonely island in every sense? Number 7. Illinois. Chicago's global spotlight fades. Chicago, once the meeting place for world leaders and global businesses, is slipping into obscurity. In 2025, over 40% of international flights to Illinois were cut. Conferences are down 30%. The city has lost more than $2 billion in business and tourism. The city's restaurants, hotels, and transport systems are built for a global audience, but now sit underused. Toronto has taken Chicago's place as North America's top conference city. The reason? Easier visas, safer image, and fewer political complications. Chicago can bounce back, but it will take global outreach and renewed trust to reclaim its place as a cultural and commercial hub. 8. Colorado. Ski resorts in the snow, but no skiers. The Rocky Mountains are still blanketed in snow, but the visitors, they're gone. European tourists are down 30%. Colorado's winter tourism industry has lost over $1 billion in 2025. Aspen, Vail, and Breckenridge, world-famous ski resorts, now operate at half capacity. Denver's international flights are cut in half. Luxury ski travel is shifting to Austria and Switzerland. The U.S. border hassle is just too much, and Colorado is losing out. Will Colorado's ski towns become quiet ghost resorts, or can they attract visitors again by becoming more accessible? 9. Massachusetts. Boston's academic flame flickers. Boston, home to Harvard and MIT, once welcomed the world's brightest minds. Now, that global classroom is half empty. International students are down 20%, costing the state more than $1 billion. Academic conferences are moving to London, Toronto, and Berlin. Strict student visa policies and the perception of America as unwelcoming are driving students and scholars elsewhere. Boston, long seen as the intellectual capital of the U.S., is losing ground. The fix? Immigration reform and a warm welcome to the world's students and thinkers. These 10 states tell a powerful story. America's tourism decline is more than just dollars and flights. It's about identity. From Times Square to Waikiki Beach, from Harvard Yard to the Las Vegas Strip, America was once